In this lesson, we're going to look at cross-border shopping. So all the costs associated with changing between Canadian dollars and any other currency. When you travel to a different country, it's good to have an idea of what their money is worth in comparison to Canadian dollars. A conversion factor is used to determine equivalent amounts in different currencies. An exchange rate tells you the conversion factor when switching between different currencies. And this can change daily. So you can actually go on the internet and search today's exchange rates between Canadian dollars and any other world currency. Let's look at comparing Canadian dollars to United States dollars. So this is the symbolism that's used. CAD is for Canadian dollars. USD is used for US dollars, United States dollars. Now you can look this up for yourself. Depending on when you look this up, you might get a different answer than I do, and that's okay. When I'm making this video, I've looked it up, and 1 Canadian dollar is worth 72 cents in US dollars. So that is our exchange rate. If you're comparing Canadian dollars to US dollars, it's a comparison of 1 to 0.72. But you can have exchange rates for different countries' currencies too. So in this example, Bob's younger brother Brent is going on a trip to Mexico. If he plans to limit his souvenir spending to 400 Canadian dollars, how many Mexican pesos should he bring with him? So I've looked it up. Here's the exchange rate for Canadian dollars to pesos. So for every 1 Canadian dollar, that's 14.44 pesos in Mexico. In the last lesson, I showed you a method of solving these types of comparison problems. And so we know the comparison of Canadian dollars to pesos is 1 to 14.44. And now we're asked to figure out how many Mexican pesos it is for 400 Canadian dollars. So we can set it up like this. I'm going to put Canadian dollars on the left to pesos on the right. I know for sure it's a comparison of 1 Canadian dollar for every 14.44 pesos. Now I'm going to keep going. I know he can spend 400 Canadian dollars, so I'm going to put 400 on the Canadian dollars side. And I don't know how many pesos that is, so I'm going to put a question mark there. So to solve for that question mark, I can cross multiply and divide. So the numbers that are diagonals to each other get multiplied, and we divide by the one left over. So our unknown peso amount is 400 times 14.44 divided by 1. That ends up being 5,776. So he should bring 5,776 pesos with him in order to stay in his 400 Canadian dollar budget. Here's one more example. Bob saw a t-shirt on Amazon.com for $17.60. It's an American website, so how much will Bob have to spend in Canadian dollars? Well, remember from the start of this lesson, we know that the exchange rate between Canadian and US dollars is 1 Canadian dollar for every 72 cents US. So now we can use that and our method of cross multiplying and dividing to figure this out. We know that his shirt is $17.60 on an American website, so this is in US dollars. So we're going to put that on the US dollars side, and we don't know what the Canadian dollar amount is, but we can figure it out. Cross multiply, so 1 times 17.60, and then divide by the 0.72 left over. So we do 1 times 17.60 divided by 0.72, and we end up with $24.44. So although this shirt costs $17.60 American, it's $24.44 Canadian. So anytime you're changing between currencies, you can use a setup like this where you're comparing Canadian dollars to the other form of currency. You have your exchange rate, and then your desired dollar amount goes on whatever side you need it to, then cross multiply and divide to find your answer.